Hello. Ah, goodness. It has been a day already, and I've been wanting to share this message with you for a while. It's just that it's kind of an intense message. My hair is doing crazy things today. Um, it's kind of an intense message, and if for some of you it may be a bit out there, for others of you that you're going to totally resonate. And basically, at this point, I just can't hold back about it anymore, especially after the session I just had today. So I'm sitting here in my office, I'm trying to eat lunch. I can't even eat. I have to share this with all of you so much. So if you're watching, just let me know. Say hi. If you are watching this later, I'm going to put my hair up so I stop messing with it. If you're watching this later, you can just say #replay. I always like to know who's here. I've got Luna, my cat, sitting on my lap. And if you can hear a swishing sound in the back, I apologize. That's the air conditioning. Anyway, so it has been a day already. And I need to share some things that are coming up that I'm seeing happening in the collective, through clients, through people that I talk to, through my own life, and share some cards that I believe are for all of us, and just to talk about some stories of things that are going on and happening. So, where should I start? Let's just start with the session I did today. So some of you know, I used to live in Los Angeles, lived there for 8 years. That's where I got into all the healing work that I do, was living out there. And I was doing sessions, and I had my own business. I started it in 2010, and I have a pretty significant Yelp presence there, because I was kind of one of the people. And if I'm talking to you and you're from the Midwest area, we don't really use Yelp as much. But if you live in a big city, Yelp is kind of the first thing that comes up if you Google anything. I don't really see that happening in Dubuque, where I live, or really anywhere in the U.S. or anywhere in the Midwest, at least in Iowa. Anyway, there's a lot of energy that's coming through me today. Anyway, so I was one of the first people that got on Yelp, kind of in the LA area, in the niche that I'm in. And so I was coming up almost first when you would Google certain things. And Yelp is another story for another day. They definitely try to screw with you. They screwed with me in my business. And I've heard it from other people that lived in Los Angeles, so I know I'm not the only one. Basically, they'll let you use their service for free for a while, but then they'll start telling you need to buy ads. And if you don't buy those ads, you disappear from the internet. So in your area. So Yelp is kind of evil. I'm not here to preach about Yelp and go join Yelp, because I think it's kind of evil. But anyway, long story longer. So I share that because I still get clients in the LA area because of that occasionally, but it hasn't happened as much lately, probably because other people have joined Yelp. Anyway, so I get a message from this woman, and she is from London, but she's working in LA for a little bit, and we met for a session this morning. And she is such a unique individual, and just super powerful energy. And what I wanted to share is what was kind of coming through. And then I did another session earlier, a distance healing session, which any of those are available. And in that session, I drew for her the Tower card. I also drew the Tower card in another deck I have for myself. And so, and in the person that's from London that's in LA at the moment, the Tower, I didn't draw cards for her, but the Tower card came up. And that sometimes happens. I will see tarot cards that help give me information in a session for someone. And the Tower card represents upheaval. This is a nicer looking Tower card. This is from one of Rebecca Campbell's decks. This says the crumbling, what are you clinging to? Look at that. So the Tower card represents upheaval, transformation, but like a lot of change, and some of that can feel very unsettling and be very traumatic. Not traumatic in a way, but it just like can kind of like just shake you. Like think about a big tall tower and it starts to crumble. And what that essentially means is that the tower in itself can represent life as it used to be. Like your thoughts, your belief systems, your friends. In my other client that's in LA right now, it represented like relationships she's been attracting that were very narcissistic and codependent. And when the Tower card shows up, which I think, because I've been seeing it so much in different people I've been working with, I think it's like a collective card right now. That's why I came here to talk about it, among other things. I think it's a collective card that we're dealing with because it's like massive transformation needs to happen right now. There's a lot of energy that needs to shift within our own self, the microcosm, and then in the bigger sense in the macrocosm. So we're shifting things collectively, but we're also shifting things massively in our own lives. And when the Tower card comes in a reading, it's often very like scary and nerve-wracking because you're like, I don't want a bunch of upheaval and change. And yet, if you can surrender to that change, it on the other side of it is really a lot of freedom and the opportunity to rebuild your life, your business, or whatever in a way that really fits the new you, if that makes sense. Luna. Luna's like, I am going to eat the Tower card. Anyway. So as I was doing this session with this woman who the Tower card came through for, there was a relationship. Her whole session, the sessions that I do in this case are an hour and a half long, and it's all reconstructing. No, you're ruining the card, miss. It's all reconstructing, like we use somatic work, we use energy healing, just a lot of different things. Her whole session was really based around relationships and how they've been affecting her. And I'm just kind of tuning in because there's just so much energy here today. Basically, one of the relationships that she talked to me about was really with somebody that has a lot of dark energy. And she is such a big light, and I'm sharing this with all of you because I think it very much resonates with a lot of you here, if not all of you. When we have these big, bright lights, like we are, whatever your belief system is, and I'm not gonna like sit here and try to go through all the different belief systems. If you can tell, I keep itching my nose. It's just like, there's so much energy. It's making me there's a lot going on in the spirit world right now. So you're kind of just seeing me. I didn't really like plan to do this. It's just more or less needed to happen. So when we're bright lights, energies that are not of, Luna, you're into everything today. I love you, but no, stop. She's like, I will take everything down. She's representing the Tower for us. When we are these bright lights, there are energies on the planet I call them dark forces. Other people might call it the devil. I don't know, right? I'm not here to get like religious on anybody or whatever. I'm here simply to relay a message that Spirit is really strongly wanting me to share. I've seen this coming up a lot lately too, just like in different places that I hang out in. Um, that there is like a spiritual warfare kind of going on. And I'm not saying any of this to scare anybody here, okay? This is really just simply a warning that we have to be really focused on what keeps us in our light, what keeps us in that high vibrational space, and really working on being out of fear based thinking, fear based situations, hanging out with people that are fear based. It's really just kind of a warning like that from Spirit that's like, like, what are you paying attention to? What are you tuned into? And keeping your precious energy in places where you can raise your vibration, whatever that looks like for you. But there's a lot of energy. So what I saw with this woman is she'd had all these relationships. Like basically every relationship she had been with a narcissist. And we can see that on a psychological level. But on a spiritual level, what I was seeing is that these relationships were almost designed in a way to keep her dim, to keep her light dim. Now, how does that work? Is every person consciously trying to dim your light that's doing so? No. There are lots of people that are just, wounded souls in some way or another that when they are in deeply fear-based thinking or doing a lot of drugs, drinking a lot of alcohol, they don't call it drinking spirits for nothing. Like, in those spaces, people, including ourselves, can allow in these quote-unquote darker energies. And I'm seeing more and more of these on the planet right now because of this kind of massive tipping point that we're in, where and I just want to tell you, I feel a lot of anxiety even sharing this message because it's out there. So I'm just being honest with you all that there's a part of me that doesn't want to share this because, it's different. It's out there. It's whatever. It is what it is. But I know that part of why I came to planet Earth is to be that beacon for light workers, to awaken you so that you step into your power, so that the light can infiltrate the earth and more of us, we can raise the vibration of this planet, so on and so forth. But I think I shared in here a while ago, I know that I did, another message that I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to share this, where I saw this vision, and I've been seeing it again lately, of like the United States in particular, but it's all the world essentially, and how there would be these lights on, kind of like you'd see a light in a house, but that's not what it was. I was like looking from way up here and seeing like the United States. And I saw this thing, I don't know what it was, it just looked dark and it was slowly like putting out those lights. Okay? So that was a very clear message to me that something, again, I don't know what it is, I don't care to know what it is. The light always trumps the dark, and whatever that is, that dark force, it's trying to put out the light. And so what do we do? What do we do about that? Hold on, it's telling me to close some apps and things. I know. Got too many things going here. Hopefully that helps. So what I saw with this woman is that these significant relationships she's had in her life that were all with narcissists, is that whatever this energy is that wants her light dim, because she is a powerhouse, it's using these wounded souls. I'm just going to label them wounded. They may be alcoholics, drug addicts, different things. it's using them to try to get at her. And, and it worked, right? Like, she's still trying to recover from the last one and the one before that. So, why am I sharing all of this? Because there's a lot more going on than we realize right now. There's a lot of people, there are beings, people, I don't know what they are, that want your light turned off, okay? Plain and simple. Could be summed up in that one sentence. There are beings that want your light turned off. Because the more light workers that are activated, that are turned on, the more this dark force can't do what it's here to do, which is squelch this planet and, mess with humans and all the things. I don't even know. I don't know what its agenda is, but it's not good, okay? And we're seeing different things play out. I saw this as a little girl. I believe I've shared this story before too, but even as a little girl, it's like I knew I came here to do some work with light workers. Because, my grandma and I used to go garage sailing, and we would, there would be like these boxes. I called them my little things. And they'd be like, I'm an 80s child, so there would be like Care Bears and My Little Ponies and strawberry shortcakes. I don't even know. All those kinds of toys in there, in these boxes at a garage sale. Somebody just wants to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Well, because you'd buy a box for like $3, in the same box, there might also be G.I. Joes. And I just remember being like, ew, I don't want G.I. Joes. Like, I was such a girly girl as a child. And so I had this friend, Ashley, and I would she would come over to my grandma's house, and we would play this game, and I called it Light versus Dark. I'm not joking, you guys. Like, I literally did this. And I was always the light, and I got to be the Care Bears and the My Little Ponies and all the fun things. And I made poor Ashley be the dark, and she had to, be G.I. Joes and all the ugly boy toys. And then we would fight, like we'd make this line going across the whole room. I had tons of these toys. And we would like fight, and I don't really remember the game other than that, but I just remember it was like the light always wins. And I've been thinking about that story more and more. And I do believe that was a knowing I came into this earth with. That, and I've heard other spiritual people talk about this, that there's like, that I've always had this feeling like I'm going to be at the forefront of some sort of battle. And, it's like, get your swords ready. And I don't know what that battle looks like. But I'm not the only one that's talking about this right now. And so many latent gifts within me are starting to awaken. My sessions with people are like blowing my mind. The information that's coming through, the quickness and the healing for people is just incredible. And I just am really in awe of all of this. And I wanted to share what has been coming through, because I think it's really, really important for us right now. Oh, I didn't even know there were people here. Sorry, guys. It doesn't tell me that anybody's watching. Hi, Alicia, if you're still here. Hi, Lisa, if you're still here. Hi, Julie. She says, hi, Luna. Julie has met my cat. Give me a thumbs up if you're still here. Let me know if this is resonating. I know for Lisa, I don't know you as well, but I have a feeling you're right there with us. I know Julie and I know Alicia, and I know it's resonating for those two. I don't even have to guess that. Yeah, let me know if this message is resonating for you. Like I said, I didn't really want to share about this. But it's not about me. In fact, I was talking to Julie yesterday, and I say that to myself a lot. Erin, it's not about you. It's not about if you feel comfortable or not. It's not about you being cozy and just do the damn thing. It's not about you. It's about a deeper message that's meant to be shared. So do it. That's sometimes how I talk to myself, I know. Alicia, yeah, does not surprise me. She says totally resonating. Yeah. So, And that's the thing, you guys. It's not about us. It's not about any of us that are here to do this work. You know, if you're attracted to me and my work, it's because you're meant to be at that front line with me. Like, you know, I didn't come here to do this by myself. Like, I came here to collect light workers to do this mission with. I even have a whole academy called the Lightworker Academy because I'm here to awaken the lightworkers. And I may even be changing how I do the Lightworker Academy in this next round. So stay tuned for that. But whew, there is just a lot of energy here. This message wants to be shared. Don't be surprised if latent gifts start awakening in you. I mean, I'm seeing mediumship stuff in several different friends, spiritual friends coming up. In myself, more mediumship is coming through. In my case, it's a little bit more on the medical mediumship side. And in fact, the same woman that I'm telling you the story about a lot today, that's in Los Angeles, she has had, I've never heard this before, but she's had cyclical vomiting. So she will get anxiety so bad that she will start puking and cannot stop and has to go to the emergency room. And she said that this has happened like 10 times in the last 5 years. And so I did a whole releasing of that because it's all this crap that she's been carrying around with her from all these terrible men that she's dated over the years. So just don't be surprised if like some latent gifts start awakening. On the flip side of that, don't be surprised if a lot of fear comes up. And again, fear is how the dark forces, the enemy, whatever the fuck you want to call it, gets in. Okay? So it's our job, as always, as I've always said in here, to raise our vibrations, to be in a space of working on our own shadow stuff, because that's another place, you know, that these things can use our energy, is when we are not fully accepting all parts of ourselves, when we're putting ourselves down, when we're being really critical on ourselves, when we're second guessing ourselves. And it doesn't mean if you do some of these things that we're allowing that in. I'm just giving this as a system to guide you with, that you can say, oh, like, I'm totally in a place of fear about the future right now. Or I'm totally doubting myself. I mean, even this conversation that we're having right here has brought fear up in me. Because I'm like, what does this mean? Like, you know, there's other people I follow that are like, it's coming. Like, this is going to, you know, it's going to get intense. And I'm like, what does that mean? Ah! And then I'm in the same breath, I'm given the vision of little Aaron playing light versus dark and how the light always wins. That message is to bring strength, to bring remembrance to you that the light always wins, always. But it takes work to stay in our light, doesn't it? Like, it's not just like, okay, I choose the light, I'm being the light. No, it's an active surrender to what is in every single moment. It's an active surrender to whatever is coming up for you in your life, whatever feelings are wanting to be purged, whatever, you know, crazy shit that's going on in your life. It's not a, well, why is this happening to me, and going into victim mode. That's disempowering yourself, which is going to put you in a place of fear, which is going to allow your light to be dimmed. That's as easy as it is. That's what I think Spirit's trying to communicate, is like, it doesn't take much anymore to dim our light, because these dark forces don't want your light turned on. So they're like infiltrating even more. Okay? So I don't really know what else I have to say about that. I am staring at the Devil card, which is a card I got today, interestingly enough. And in this deck, it's not a traditional tarot deck. In this deck, she kind of creates her own, obviously, art, and then also her own meanings for things. And she says the Devil card is all about, like, your addictions. So, and that, like, this is how we can stay stuck and have our light dimmed. So let me just read to you what I wrote. Please let me know if this is resonating. Hi, Christy. Yes. Oh, yes. Hi, Sue. I just want to read to you what I wrote about, because I was sitting in the shower today and I'm like going, okay, like what is my addiction? I don't drink, Is it coffee? Christy Norman would say yes. She's one of the people that has told me not to drink coffee. I've tried giving it up, and maybe someday I will, but I just allow myself 1 cup a day. But I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. I don't really think negatively anymore. I mean, I did go through a fear period, like February through April, probably, about some changes that are coming for me, like major life transitions. I'll just tell you all. I can't share it publicly yet because William has not told his mother, because that's a whole thing that I'm not going to get into. I'll sum that up by saying our families have a hard time making things about anything other than themselves. That's the quickest way to sum that little story up. But we are moving to Florida. And so there has been I went through this period of massive fear back in the winter time. Just what does this mean? What's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to my business? All the uncertainty. Is this the right decision? All the spinny things that completely take us out of. I've lightened my stance a little on that. It all depends on the person. Oh, will you tell me what you mean, Christy? Lightened your stance a little on which part? I can't remember what I said now. So help me out on that. Okay, she'll let me know what she means there. So we can get into these spinny places, can't we? Where we just kind of spin out with fear. I definitely have been there. And that's a huge red flag to let you know you are not in a good space. What can you do to get yourself out of this fear? Call somebody, hire somebody, whatever you need to do it. Meditate, call on your guides, whatever you can do to support yourself. I guess that's all I was saying with that. I feel like this is a bit all over the place, but I feel like y'all are resonating. Okay, so what I said about the devil now, what I was going into is I don't have addictions. I have really been pretty clear-headed and out of negativity recently. But what I got for myself is, ready for this? Remember, this addiction can come in many different forms. We get addicted to ways of being that literally we just have always been, probably out of trauma or some conditioning or patterning that we have. So I wrote, for me, I believe the devil card is my ability to distract myself so I don't have to finish my book and stay on my true path. Which is funny, I can tell you guys that here because you saw my last post. I have been avoiding organizing my book for years. Not 4 years, but for years. And I have a bunch written. It just needs to get organized, and I have some other stuff I need to write too. But I will distract. I've even made a joke with myself. My joke is I get so much done when I'm supposed to be writing my book. All the things that have been sitting on my to-do list forever suddenly get done because I'll do everything else but the one thing I'm meant to do, that my soul, my spirit guides want me to do. So maybe that resonates with you. It's if you reading this card, the devil card, and addictions, even the picture, it's there's sex, drugs, and money. If you can see it, it's sex, drugs, and money. I'm that's not me. That doesn't fit. But when I read a little bit deeper from another site, and it said, anything that kind of takes you off of your true path, I was oh, this part of me that wants to distract myself so that I don't do the work that so desperately wants to come through me. Even doing this live, I wanted to do a lot of other things. So let me know if that's resonating. Let me see what Christy says here. Oh, coffee. Oh, funny. She says she's lightened her stance a little on that. It depends on the person on coffee. Okay, got it, Christy. Oh, that makes me feel so much better that you've lightened your stance a little on that. Because I think about that a lot. I was like, oh, I hope I'm not, hurting my body more by drinking this cup of coffee. But it just like sets my day. And, I really just allow myself just one. But Christy says she's resonating with my example of distracting yourself. Yes, I think all of this is coming through for me today because I think it was a message for all of us. Okay, Alicia says I was told or guided I have to delete Facebook and start all over, just keeping mostly Messenger. Don't want to delete everything and all connections, but following guidance. Oh, congratulations on the big move. Thank you, Alicia. Yeah, so follow that guidance, whatever those clues you're being given, those feelings, those intuitions. Follow that, because this is what we're dealing with right now, you guys. We're dealing with the devil in ourselves. So the devil isn't necessarily an external thing. I'm not really sure I believe in the devil or whatever that. I call it dark forces. I do believe that there are dark forces. I don't know if that's like a devil that looks like this guy. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to try to name it and call it whatever. I don't care to know what it is, to be honest. But we have the devil within us, right? It's like the devil and the angel. We all have a little devil within us that's like, Erin, go do all those other things. Like, don't you have to clean your house? Don't you have to, write a new page for your website? Don't you have to email those people? Don't you have to create a whole Amazon store? Like, literally, I will do everything but the thing. And it's because, if you're resonating with the distractibility, it's probably because it's something big that the world is needing, whatever that looks like. And then we're also dealing with this tower card, which is like, shit be crumbling right now. Shit be breaking down right now. And that's purposeful. Your spirit guides, your team on the other side wants the old ways to be broken down. It's supposed to be happening right now. And if you are actively fighting it, you're going to not have a very good time. You're not going to have a very good time. I was actively fighting the Florida move, which is so funny because I want to be where it's warm. I want to be where it's sunny. Winters have been slowly making my mental health worse and worse and worse every year. It's like my spirit, just like Alicia was being told, get off Facebook, my spirit has been saying, dude, we can't do winters anymore. Like, this isn't working for us. And then Williams Company opened up this location in Dover, Florida, which is outside of Tampa. And it's even gotten better because we are now getting to move closer to the beach. Anyway, I'll share all that story another time. But it's like my soul, my spirit is pulling me to the ocean. And that's where I need to be. And I'm a little bit fighting it because I'm just like, but wait, this is comfortable. This is my nice comfy zone, right? This is so comfortable. And we can think of that metaphorically in whatever's comfy in your life. Even in my client this morning, even in her life, it's comfy dating narcissists. And you might go, well, Erin, that's not comfortable. And I go, yeah, it is, because she told me her dad was a narcissist. That's comfortable. That's what she knows. Even if a pattern is bad in your life, it doesn't mean it's not comfortable to you. It's subconsciously comfortable to be with what we know. If you experienced a lot of chaos growing up, you've probably created a lot of chaos in different areas of your life. I did. Created chaos in every area of my life. And so when the Tower card shows up, as it's showing up for us collectively, it's a message to let it crumble. Don't cling. Let it fucking crumble down. sit and be in the pain of the crumbling and just feel all the fucking discomfort of it and just let it, even imagine just like the towers crumbling around you and just feel how much that hurts, because it's gonna hurt. Leaving my comfort zone of Dubuque, Iowa, and this beautiful house and space I've created for myself and William, we've created it for each other, that's gonna fucking hurt. It already has. You can ask Julie about that. She did a house clearing with me. My house was even sad. I was sad. My house was picking up my sadness because this has been my stability. So, but when the Tower card calls, and it's literally been in a bunch of my own personal readings, so I'm like, okay. When the Tower card calls, we have to let it crumble and we have to let it go. And know that what's on the other side of that is really going to be so much sweeter. And there's going to be some transition period that's going to be uncomfortable. Just like moving across the country to a new place, it's going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to have to make new friends. I don't really have any friends in the Tampa area. You know, I'm going to have to, there's going to be periods of discomfort. Lots of them. There's going to be challenges. I don't know who my doctor is going to be, you know, like stupid stuff like that, right? I'm going to have to reestablish, where do I go get my groceries? All the things are going to be different. Time consuming, more time consuming than they are in Dubuque. There's going to be a huge transition. And so I'm using this as an example because that's what we're all going through. These levels and layers of discomfort. But if we can just keep stepping forward, it really does get good on the other side. And the journey to get to whatever that is beautiful too. Let's not downplay the journey to get from A to B. Okay. I feel like this is kind of going on. Oh, Anna's here. Yes, Anna. Anna's in Jacksonville, Florida. She's from Wisconsin, so she knows what it's like to do all that. Alicia says you need to do a Florida retreat. Oh, trust me, there are Florida retreats in the works as we speak. So, yeah, it will be happening for sure. That is definitely a thing. So, if anybody has any questions or anything and you want to state those below, I will see that. I'll see a notification and I can come back and share anything else that comes through. But that's the biggest message, is that whatever they are, whatever darkness that is, it wants your light. Don't let your light be dimmed. Let whatever needs to crumble, crumble. And you'll be guided as to what is next and what is next and what is next and what is next. And so if you're not somebody that's really following your intuition, or I'm hearing a buzzing in my head right now. I'm telling you, the weirder things keep happening. So much energy. You'll be guided. And if you're somebody that has a hard time following your intuition or hearing it, that's part of the crumbling, is letting the pieces fall so that you can rebuild with more space. If you're not hearing the intuition, it's probably because there's too many distractions and maybe too many other voices, like the people around you yapping in your ear, yap, 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 with their fear-based thoughts and all their crap, right? That is so prevalent in our society right now. You can't even go online without. So, like, try to limit your time online. That's really the only message. Okay, I feel like this has been going on for a while now, and yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you all for being here. Those of you that were here, thanks for participating. Thanks for accepting my truth, which felt uncomfortable to share, but it's not about me. So I'm just here to be that light and to share the messages that I'm getting from my team on the other side. And I'm gonna go chill out now for a little bit. So thank you all for being here. Share this with somebody. I mean, you're not gonna be able to share this post, but if you know somebody that needs to hear this message, invite them into the group, or if they're already in the group, tag them to the message so that they get it. And there's 2 spots left for Italy. It's going to be massive shifts on that retreat. If you feel called, message me. And yeah, I've opened up one-on-one sessions again, so that's available. Message me if you need any extra support at this time. And yeah, you're not alone. You've got this, and you've got a team helping you. A big thing to remember is your team, your guides, your angels, whatever you like to call them, they cannot go against your free will. So you have to ask. You know that whole saying, ask and it is given. You have to ask for that support. So speak to your team. Thank you all so much for being here today. Whew. Lots of energy moving, huge shifts, as Anna says. I hope to see you again soon, and thanks for being here.